guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a few new makeup products that I wanted to share with you, but when I was going through them, I realized I don't really have any new eyeshadow palettes, so I'm going to make this more of a new base product video. So we're just going to concentrate on the complexion today, and I'm going to show you a few new things that I have added to my collection. I have put a little bit of corrector underneath my eyes. So let's go ahead and jump straight in to the foundation. I am using the new formulation of the Kogendo Moisture Foundation. So to be completely honest, I never tried the original version, so I'm not going to be able to tell you how they compare. I had only tried the original version of the Aqua Foundation, so this is like my first bout with the Moisture Foundation. It's not the first time I've tried it. I have used it a couple of times before coming on camera, but I just can't compare it to the original formula. This is a $79 foundation, and it's not even quite an ounce. It's 0.7 ounces. I am in the color 123 Warm. Comes in 17 shades, and it is an HD high definition foundation. It's got an innovative powder technology from Japan, and it's perfectly shaped mineral pigments are combined with 80% plant-powered ingredients to create this skincare integrated weightless feel buildable coverage foundation. It resists sweat, oil, and water to ensure a long wear and endurance with a beautiful skin-like finish. This is not an oil-free foundation. It does have jojoba seed oil. It's got shea butter, lots of moisturizing ingredients, hyaluronate, tocopherol, good ingredients. So let's go ahead and try it. I love the little tube, squeeze tube for travel and convenience. I don't love it for actually dispensing the product because I like to be able to say I use 1 pump of this or 2 pumps of this, not I use 0.2 seconds of this. You know what I mean? Like, it's harder for me to say, but this is how much I squeezed out to begin with. We'll see if that covers the whole face because, to be honest, I don't remember the last couple of times how much I used. So just apply it to one side. Again, this is the shade 123. I have 143 in the Aqua Foundation, which is great for me in the summer months, but this works great for me now. So I'm just going to stipple it in with my It Cosmetics number 7 dual ended brush. And we'll be able to see what kind of coverage it gives. So I don't have any on my forehead, but this is the foundation, and then this is no foundation. So I can see some of my redness here. Zoom in a little bit. I think it's a medium coverage. Like, if I really looked hard, I could still see some of my redness underneath. But it's a really pretty finish. Okay, so I'm just going to stipple it in on the other side. It's not as glowy as I would think an oil foundation or a foundation with oil in it and moisture in the name would be, but I'm not mad at that because that just means that you can add glow to it if you want and then not add anything if you don't, if you want it to be more of this natural finish. Now, it does have a pretty sheen to it, but I wouldn't call it overly luminous. Now, I did use everything that was on my hand, but nothing more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more and see if I can build it up just like right where, and I don't even know if the redness is going to come across on camera, but I'll be able to tell y'all whether or not it builds up just by stippling it in very lightly over areas where I feel like I might need a little bit more coverage, and it built up very nicely, actually. Okay, well, this is a buildable foundation, at least in my opinion, because stippling that on did exactly what I wanted it to do, giving me a little bit more coverage on top of the areas where my redness was peeking through the most. For concealer, I have the new Clinique Even Better All Over Concealer and Eraser. I've heard a lot of people talk about this lately, and I kind of waited to see what everybody was going to say before I jumped on the bandwagon. This is a concealer that has a little eraser on top of it, this little sponge. I have not used that part yet. I've heard people say it's great, but I don't tend to like that kind of thing. So I've just been using it with my normal e.l.f. beauty sponge. This is 0.2 ounces for $26, and it's 42 shades, which is awesome. I am in the color CN40 Cream Chamois. claims to be full coverage, and it says that it depuffs over time, which heavens knows my allergy-laden under eyes needs. So you can see this is not a brightening concealer on me, and I actually feel like, I need my sponge, is lighter after I blend it out and throughout the day, which is weird. Some foundations do that to me too. They don't oxidize darker, they actually get lighter on me. But I wanted you to see the difference. So this is with concealer, this is with just corrector. I don't know that I believe that this is a full coverage concealer like they claim for it to be. I feel like I can see still some of my darkness, which is not a bad thing. I just don't think that it's full coverage. Very easy to blend out and actually a bit moisturizing in my opinion, especially compared to other concealers I have used in the past, which is good because I have been getting some dry patches from my tretinoin cream and mixed in with this like 20-degree weather, and it's just wreaking havoc on my skin right now. So it's good that I'm able to use products that add moisture like this foundation and this concealer. So again, I don't think it's full coverage by any means, but I do love this concealer. The way it wears is pretty magnificent. Like I have absolutely no issues at all with it creasing, with it looking cakey. Again, it works really well over dry under eyes. It does have a lot of moisture in it, in my opinion. So if that's something you're looking for and you don't need or care about having full coverage, then I would definitely look into this, especially for the reasonable price point. And I am very glad that I got it. Okay, this powder that I'm about to use is pretty magnificent in its claims and ingredients. This is also from Kogan Do, and it is the, I can't ever say the, is it My Fanchi? I know that's not right, but it is the My Fanchi Sheer Moist Powder. Now, when I look on their website, this does say that it's limited edition. So it comes in this pretty packaging like this. It is $62 and it's 0.42 ounces. Now, I just have to tell you really quick about this powder because it adds moisture while creating a velvety soft complexion. It is a mineral powder that is infused and contains 5 botanical oils in addition to our T3 oil, which is the signature blend of jojoba seed oil, olive, squalane, and shea butter to support skin hydration, prolonging moisture even for dry skin types. It continuously nourishes the skin throughout the day. It contains ceramides, hibiscus extract, polyglutamic acid, and hyaluronic acid that helps contribute to your skin's radiant health. I mean, does this not sound like a dream for normal to dry skin? It sounds like a dream. I have been using it for the past 4 or 5 days, and it is pretty much a dream. I love this, especially if you have normal to dry skin. So it comes with a puff. I do not use the puff, but I do keep it in there because there's no protective barrier for the mesh. Like there's no plastic covering that you can take off to protect the powder from going everywhere, but there is a mesh coating. Because of the mesh coating, I do feel like I need to use a little bit of a denser brush in order to really pick up the product through the mesh. So I'm going to use my La Mer powder brush, just dip it in and get the powder. Now I do feel like Kogan Do powders, at least this one and the, what's the other one that I have? The brightening moisture powder, this one that comes in a compact that I love also. I do feel like when you first apply them, they kind of lighten your skin a little bit, but as it settles in, I don't feel like anything is different. So I'm just going to lightly press that into the skin. And I can tell it took down some of the radiance from the foundation, but as the day goes on, those moisturizing properties of that powder really start to shine through. They don't make you look oily, but it just makes you look fresh and non-powdery. I'm very, very, very happy to have this powder, and because it's limited edition, I do recommend it. Been loving that. Now, the bronzer and highlight are not necessarily new, but they are new to me, and they're from Nabla. And I have been wanting these and have had these on my list for quite some time. I've had so many of y'all tell me that I would love them, and Ulta did a 50% off of Nabla Cosmetics for like one day only around Black Friday, and so I snagged these two up. So the bronzer is the Skin Bronzing Sun Kissed Effect Bronzing Powder. I got the color Dune, and you can see they are like a baked gelée formula. Because of that, I like to use my Duo Fiber brush from Osmosis, the large accent brush, because I just feel like it picks up the product the best. So I'm going to pick up some product. And you know, being baked gelée, you don't have any kind of kick up or anything like that. And just apply my bronzer like I normally do. I do really enjoy this bronzer. I think it's very pretty. I would have to really go through my collection to see if I think it knocks anything out of my top 5, but especially for the 50% off, I am very happy with it because I don't think these are overly expensive to begin with. Yeah, they're $24, so I got it for 12 bucks. And maybe it was like 40% off because I feel like I paid $16 for it. Anywho, it wasn't 24 and it was a good deal. And the Dune is described as medium warm brown. But I do feel like I think it's a mixture of the baked gelée, but also the formula and the color in general. It's not overpowering. Like I can really, really build this up and I still don't feel like I would have too much. So don't let the medium description throw you off if you have my skin tone or lighter. This, however, from Nabla is the star of the show for me. And if I had to pick between this and the bronzer, I would pick this. This is the Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder in the color Privilege. It's got that peachy undertone. You know that was the one I was going to pick, and it is so gorgeous. So I'm just going to use my Anastasia A23. I mean, it's just so pretty. Again, the formula of that baked gelée, it's not glittery. It's just a really pretty sheen. And I don't feel like this is so peach that I can't do cool tone looks and still use this. You'll see that the blush that I'm going to use is more of like a mauvey pink, and it still works great. Now, I have some peachy undertone highlights that I probably wouldn't pair with cool tone because you can see the obvious peach undertone. But again, that's a personal choice. I just feel like this is neutral enough on the skin to not have to worry about that. The blush is, honestly, it came in like a little kit, and it's, again, not new, but it's new to me. And the formula of the blush is not even new. This is from Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur, which I love. I have a pink Bounce and Blur, and then the Blurred Buff is one of my favorite blushes of all time. This is a little one in Mauve Sunrise. As you can see, it's got that pinky mauve undertone, and it's really pretty. If y'all have not tried, see how pretty that is? The Bounce and Blur blushes, which the alliteration always gets me, they are beautiful. Beautiful formula, beautiful in the skin, perfectly pigmented. I love them. And I love having this color in my collection as well. Now I'm going to take my It Cosmetics Duo Fiber, but I'm not adding any Hourglass powder. I know, but I just don't feel like I need it with this powder and the products that I've used. So I'm just kind of diffusing everything that I have put on my face. Okay, so this is the finished look using all of my new and fun Complexion products. And I have to say, I don't think I used anything that I would not recommend. I'm very, very, very happy with all of these. I don't have a bad thing to say. I mean, the foundation, the powder, I've worn both of them for a few days and I love both of them. I need to wear this a few more times to see how I would compare it to the Aqua foundation. I feel like it might have even just a little bit more coverage than the Aqua one. But again, I need to play around with it a little bit. But the concealer is great. The powder is great. Highlight, blush, bronzer, it's all great. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I will have everything linked down below for easy access. Let me know your favorite base products right now that you just can't stop reaching for. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. I hope you are all staying happy, healthy, safe, and sane, and that most of all, you go out and have a very blessed day.